we have associated glands and organs of the digestive system. So what are these associated glands and organs of of the digestive system? So we have salivary gland, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So those are the associated glands or associated structures and glands of the digestive tract. And now also in your lecture, uh, the, the digestive system of the pig is shown there. Okay, pig, this is a monogastric animal, as we have said a while ago, monogastric because it has a simple stomach. So we have also the horse. The horse is also a monogastric stomach. They are pseudo ruminants. When we say pseudo, we say false ruminants. Why horses are called pseudo ruminants? Pseudo ruminants because they eat grass also. The horses eat grass. However, they only have one or simple stomach. Okay, they eat grass, but they have one stomach, or uh, they have single stomach. Okay, and also you have there an illustration of the digestive system of ruminant. Okay, so ruminant, this is a multi-compartment stomach animal, and the chicken or the avian. Okay, the avian, they are non-ruminant. They are monogastric uh, animals. Okay, so wait, I'll just look at this. So for those items that we were not able to take up, hindi naman we're not able to take up, I'll just skip them. No? Hello? Uh, for those items that I am going to skip up, I'll just leave them up to you for your own readings. Okay? Anyway, halos pare-pareho naman na yan. So in the primary enzymes of the digestive tract, you have there a a table, a table of the primary enzymes of the digestive tract. So on the first column, you have there the food source, and then on the second column, the enzyme, the origin of the enzyme, and the product of digestion. Okay. Now, have you seen that page? Page 6. Have you seen that, class?
Yes,
Yes,
Doc.
Doc.
Yes po, Doc.
So, if the food source is carbohydrate, so the substrate is the starch, glycogen, and dextrine. Kung ang substrate ng carbohydrate ay starch, glycogen, and dextrine, the enzymes that will act upon on this substrate is the amylase. Okay? And the origin of amylase is from the saliva and the pancreas. And so if the if dextrine, glycogen, starch are acted upon by amylase, the product of digestion would be maltose and glucose. Maltose and glucose. And if the substrate of the carbohydrate is maltose, it will be acted upon by maltase from the small intestine. And so the product of digestion is the glucose. Okay? And if the substrate of carbohydrate is lactose, it will be acted upon by lactase from the small intestine, and the product of digestion is glucose and or galactose. And if the substrate of the carbohydrate is sucrose, it will be acted upon by sucrose from the small intestine, and the product of digestion is glucose and fructose. Okay? Now, if the product or if the substrate is lipid from fats and oils, it will be acted upon by lipase from the pancreas and gastric mucosa, and the product of digestion would be fatty acid or monoglyceride glycerol. Okay. If the substrate of the protein is milk protein, it will be acted upon by rennin from the gastric mucosa of young calf, and the product of digestion would be, it will coagulate the milk protein. Okay. And if the protein, the substrate is protein, it will be acted upon by pepsin from the gastric mucosa, and the product will be polypeptide, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, so yun, the large intestine. And now let's proceed to the nutrient digestion and absorption and transport. Now, before going to that, let us first discuss uh, the digestive system of avian or poultry. Okay. Now, as I've said a while ago, na ang mga manok, ang mga poultry, they don't have teeth, but rather they have beak, no? Wherein the beak replaces the lips and the teeth with its shape, size, and length with varying length varying with type of diet consumed. So that the tongue is also adapted to type of food that a poultry consume. So it is long and narrow. They have long and narrow tongue. Matigas yung tongue nila, and its function as to spread to extract insects from the holes that they drill. Sometimes the tongue is yung mga ibang tongue ng mga mano o ng poultry ay short, thick, and fleshy tongues. Okay? That will allow or that will manipulate their food. So that is the first segment, the mouth. No, the mouth in avian. And then next to the mouth, they have also esophagus. And next to the esophagus is the crop. So the crop serves as temporary site for moistening food before it enters the stomach. Okay, so mouth, esophagus, and then the crop. Sa Ilocano, yung crop ay, ano yung sa Ilocano? Sinong Ilocano sa inyo? Sinong Ilocano sa inyo? Si John Adrian ulit. What is crop sa Ilocano?
Hindi po ako fluent sa Ilocano, Doc.
Hindi kayo, ay, ano? Sino? Ano yung crop? Yung dito o sa leeg, yung umuumbok na ganyan, busog na busog yung manok, sa leeg ng manok. Ano yun sa Ilocano? Ano yun sa Tagalog? Grisha Jen. Ala, awag kayo sa amutan. Wala naman na yata kayo.
Ano po yun, Doc?
Hindi ka yata kayo nakikinig. Krisha
Balon-balunan,
Jen,
Dok?
balon-balunan. Di ba balon-balunan?
Hindi po, Doc. Butchi yun. Butchi yung craft.
Sa Tagalog.
Opo, butchi.
Yung mga Ilocano, anong tawag mo doon?
Dok, baka karabukob.
Yun, karakaran. Ajay, karakaran. Okay, yung nandito sa leeg, yun, crab, ang tawag mo doon. Di ba napupuno yun pag kumain yung manok? Napupuno yun dito bago siya bumaba. So yun, that is the crab. So doon naiimbak temporarily yung mga kinakain ng manok bago siya pumunta sa bituka or stomach. So in pigeons and doves, they produce crab milk to be fed to the young for the first 2 weeks after hatching. No? So nagpo-produce ng crab milk yung mga pigeons and doves. And the stomach of poultry has 2 parts. Okay, this is the gizzard and the proventriculus. Okay, the gizzard, this is the muscular part that performs function of the mammalian teeth and the churning action of the gizzard and grit it contains grind feed into smaller particles. Okay, so ang sumunod dun sa crab ay proventriculus and then gizzard. Okay? Proventriculus, this is the glandular part. Bakit glandular part yung proventriculus? Because it contains digestive enzymes. And proventriculus, ibig sabihin, before stomach. Before ventriculus stomach. Okay, so ulitin ko. Ang digestive tract ng avian o poultry, mouth, and then esophagus, and then crab, number 3, and then number 4, the proventriculus. The proventriculus or the glandular part of the stomach. This is where hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes are secreted. So after the proventriculus, we have the gizzard. This is already the muscular part na nagpo-function as teeth kasi nandun yung mga grits para magkaroon ng digestion ng food into smaller particles. Okay? So after the proventriculus, the gizzard, we have the small intestine, large intestine, and then finally the cloaca and then fat. Yun yung katumbas ng ng rectum at saka anus, the cloaca and fat. Okay, get me? Okay. Next. So we have also digestive juices. So the digestive juices, these are fluid materials secreted into digestive tract by glands or tissues along the digestive tract. So ito yung mga fluid materials that are secreted by glands or tissues that help in the digestion of food. So we have here the digestive juices. We have the saliva, gastric juice, the bile, pancreatic juice, and intestinal juice. So we have also the enzymes. So these are organic catalysts that are mostly protein. Yung mga enzymes, they are mostly proteins, and specific yung mga specific yung mga ina-act nila, yung mga ina-actionan nila, specific yun. Kagaya doon sa starch, amylase, di ba? Doon sa dun sa, ano pa ba yun? Specific. Lipids, lipase. Sucrose, sucrase. Okay, lactose, lactase. So usually yung mga enzymes, ang huling letters nila ay ASE. Yun ay enzymes. Yun nga, sabi ko, sucrose, ang enzyme noon ay sucrase. Okay? Lactose, lactase. So these are mostly protein in nature. And specific ang substrate that they act na inaakan nila. And most enzyme names end in IA. So example of enzymes, we have salivary amylase, renin, pepsin, lipase, amylase, trypsin, 50-dases, maltase, sucrase, and lactase. Okay, now, so let's go now to, we'll try to finish this. We'll now go to nutrient absorption. So nutrient absorption. When we say nutrient absorption, this refers to the movement of the end product of digestion from the digestive tract into the blood and into the lymph system. So di ba sinabi natin kanina na in-ingest yung pagkain, and then after ingestion, yung pagkain ay nagkakaroon ng digestion. Okay? The food are broken down into small particles to be and acted upon by enzymes that to be able to be absorbed in the blood and the lymphatic system. So, yung substrate ng pagkain na yon is acted upon by enzyme so that ma-absorb ng blood and the lymphatic system. And it is accompanied by diffusion through the semi-permeable membrane which line most of the digestive tract. And most of the absorption takes place most in the small intestine. And in non-ruminants, most nutrient absorption takes place again in the small intestines and little only doon sa large intestine. So the large amount of absorption takes place in the rumen wall of the ruminant. And all of the end products of digestion, except those of fat digestion and fat-soluble vitamins, are absorbed directly into the bloodstream. Again, all the end products of digestion ay naa-absorb sa small intestines, maliban sa fats and vitamins, wherein absorption is directly into the bloodstream. Okay? And the product of fat digestion is absorbed into the lymph system through the lacteals of the villi in the form of chyle. And the latter subsequent enters into the blood through the thoracic duct and undergoes certain metabolic changes in the liver before being used in the tissues. So, ibig sabihin yan, nakain yung pagkain mo, yung food, the food that you eat, no, it will be ingested and it will be acted upon by enzymes. It will be broken down into small pieces. It will be absorbed by the small intestines to the villi and then into the bloodstream and the lymphatic systems. And then some nutrients are also will pass through the liver para ma-detoxify. Now, ma-detoxify. Magkaroon ng metabolic changes kasi baka may mga hindi magaganda o hindi karapat-dapat na nutrients. So, i-detoxify ni liver before going into the tissue to be utilized by the tissue. Okay, so that is the absorption para ma-absorb yung nutrients na kinakain ng hayop o ng tao. Ganun din tayo. And then nutrient transport. Before going to that, you have a drawing there wherein how the nutrients are, ano to? Yes, these are nutrients. Okay, so how are they being absorbed? Okay, so in nutrient transport, the movement of nutrients from the point of absorption to the point of utilization. That's the meaning of nutrient transport. The movement of nutrients from the point of absorption to the point of utilization. So ano yung point of absorption? So na-absorb siya doon sa blood, kunyari. So in the blood is the primary basis for the transport. Si blood ang nagta-transport, no? O nagdadala ng nutrients at iba't ibang mga nutrients ng mga or materials in the animal body. And the lymph serve as the final link between the blood and the blood capillaries and the individual cells. So, ibig sabihin nito, kung si blood ang nagta-transport ng mga nutrients and other materials, susunduin siya ni lymph, no? Para dalhin niya sa mga individual cells, yung nutrients na yun. And so, all nutrients are transported in the water-soluble form. And various nutrients are absorbed from the lymph into the individual cells, again, by diffusion. So, ibig sabihin, si blood, no, yung dugo, siya yung nagto-transport ng nutrients and then sasalabunin siya ni lymph para dadalhin niya doon sa tissues yung nutrients na yon in the form of in the form of water soluble, in a water soluble form yung nutrient na yon. Okay? So, naintindihan mga kapatid? Before going to the next lesson, naintindihan mga kapatid? Now, kung hindi pa ninyo naintindihan, please read your lesson in advance and after we have discussed it. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo?
Yes, Doc.
Please read your lessons before and after our discussion. Magandang nagbabasa kayo ng lessons ninyo before our discussion so that pag nagsasalita na si Madam, meron na kayong idea. And it is also important that you read after our discussion para mas maliwanagan kayo, mas lalo niyong maintindihan yung pinagsasabi ni Madam. Okay? So, nagkakaintindihan na tayo?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
So we will need, wait. Anyway, I'll just give a post kung ano yung magiging assignment ninyo, work assignment ninyo. Actually, yung mga binibigay kong work assignment ninyo, that is already your laboratory exercise. Okay? Now, for your, I have not make up your quiz. Gagawa pa ako ng quiz ninyo and it will be announced. Okay? And so I think that would be all for today. John Adrian, did you send me already?
Ay, hindi pa po, Doc.
Attendance?
Pero napicturean ko na po kanina. Apo.
Kasi 30, I think you are only 32 kanina. Or 33, 30 something.
Apo.
Kasi you are already 40. So, class, noon sinabi ko sa inyo na face on, di ba? But then, you are not on face on, okay lang sa akin, basta naandyan kayo, nakikinig kayo sa discussion. But then sometimes, Kaya ako kayo pinagre-recite ko minsan to find out if you are still there. No, but to my disappointment, some of you may cannot answer it right away. Maybe you are doing something. Plus, it is very necessary that you have to listen to your teacher. You have to be there during the discussion. And if you want to go out, please inform me that you go out. Kasi para hindi ko naman feel na para akong ngiping dito na nagsasalita na wala pala akong kausap, baka naman natutulog na kayo. Okay, sana you feel what I feel, you understand what I'm telling you.